our hands unto Yahweh in the heavens. We have transgressed and have rebelled, thou hast not pardoned. No hast thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us, thou hast slain, thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud, that our prayer should not pass through. Thou hast made us as the offscouring and refuge in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction. Mine eye runneth down with rivers of water, for the destruction of the daughter of my people. Mine eye trickleth down and ceaseth not, without any intermission, till the Lord look down and behold from heaven. Mine eye affected mine heart, because of all the daughters of my city. Mine enemies chased me sore like a bird without cause. They have cut off my life in the dungeon and cast a stone upon me. Waters flowed over mine head, that I said, I am cut off. I called upon thy name, O Lord, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not thine ear at my breathing, at my cry. Thou drewest near in the day that I called upon thee. Thou saidst, fear not. O Lord, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul. Thou hast redeemed my life. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all their imaginations against me. Thou hast heard thy reproach, O Lord, and all their imaginations against me. The lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold, their sitting down and their rising up, I am their music. Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands.
Khan, who is according to the works. According to the works.
Your faith is measured by your words.
Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them.
It's better if you not make any comments. If you have questions, you can ask me questions. The better to bring it up. Once you don't interrupt the spirit. The brother just lay down quiet, you know? It's like, if you have questions, you can ask me questions.
Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. That's what I'm saying. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord.
Who's the one being
The heathen, because it's the man that's pleading with the Most High to deliver him from the captivity that his people is in at that current point in time. But in general, it's speaking against the heathen that put us in that situation.
Okay, so it's like basically it's foreshadowing.
We'll bring a pure precept.
Oh, so I think, like it says in Ecclesiastes, that which has been done is to be done again, I believe, and there's nothing new under the sun.
Precept?
Wait, you said you had a precept?
Oh, Khan. The water for remembering. The book of Mark 4, verse 11. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yahawah, but unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, that seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven them.
What are the mysteries?
That's basically telling us what to do. Like it's your responsibility.
Mysteries. Salakia. The mysteries.
You know what the mysteries are?
Will you repeat it, please? Which part?
The mysteries.
You want me to bring the whole thing down? book of Mark, verse 4:11. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of Yahawah.
Yeah. So you know what the mysteries are?
But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables.
Mysteries of the secrets, prophecies. Unto you it is given to know the mysteries.
So it's unto you. Is that context of like it's your responsibility, or unto you like I'm giving you?
For you, like, so it's like if you're outside of this realm, it is for you. If you're outside of this realm, it's not for you to understand. If you're in this realm, it's for you to understand the mysteries of the prophecies. Understand?
Say it again, basically.
Well, read it again.
Unto you it is given to know the mystery.
Because he chose who he wants to open the eyes, whose eyes he wants to be open. Others, it's not for them for the eyes to be open at that moment. Understand?
So the
They
unto you means I'm giving you this
Yeah,
knowledge.
he's speaking to the disciples, wherein the disciples are asking, what is that parable? Because before that, he gave them a parable. Now, the disciples are asking, what is the meaning of that parable? It's like, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom, but to those that are outside, it is done in parables. Yahushua, when he was on the scene, he was speaking in parables. He was speaking in proverbs, dark sayings. That's why they're like, yo, this guy, right? You know? They thought he was they called him a drunkard. Because he was speaking in parables. He was going over their heads. You know? See how you got a rapper and
Yeah, you're dropping bars all the time.
but bars that you can't understand, you really gotta look at the lyrics. That's Yahushua times 1,000.
Let's see, to elaborate on your question, I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians 12, verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit of the word, Salakim. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gift of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another divers kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one, and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body.
So like how we all have a body, right? An arm has its function. You know, you have both arms that have their own functions. Your legs, your eyes, ears, everything has its own function. We're just like it's likening Israel unto a human body, like how brothers and sisters have we each have our roles to play, and they're all equally as important, or they're all of differing levels of importance, but at the end of the day, they're all important because they're all a part of one spiritual body.
Also, there's not going to be two dads and two
What passage was that?
That was the book of 1 Corinthians 12, from 4 to 13. Now finished. I was at 12. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is a MASHAYACH. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit.
You understand the concept of the Gentiles? So like we would be Gentiles because we're not we didn't grow up following the customs of the We just started respecting the Sabbath. The Gentiles are still Israelites. Okay? So when it says either Jews or Gentiles, they're Israelites. They still belong to YAHAWASHI. But they're Gentiles because they didn't grow up following the customs of the Jews.
Hellenization.
Yeah, Hellenization. If you read the time of the Greeks, they were forced to eat pork. They were forced to forsake the Sabbath. It's in the book of Maccabees. They followed the customs of the Greeks, so they became Gentiles.
It's the same for us because we're Canadian in name alone. We're not really blood Canadian in name alone.
Shalom. You already up?
Bloodline, we're Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. But as far as, as a worldly, I guess they use the term nation, we're Canadian. But it's pretty much the same thing as Hellenization.
That's right.
We keep the customs of this land, but we know that we're Israelites by blood. And it's the same thing that in biblical context for the Gentiles. They're Gentiles in name alone, but really they're Israelites.
You would take the example of Paul. He was also considered a Roman. He also says he's a Hebrew of the Hebrews. He's an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. So it's all that nationality is not a citizenship. Those two different things.
And first Revelation 17 verse 5. And upon her forehead was named written, mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. So mystery goes way deep into that, Babylon also is called mystery, and as a woman too. This chapter again refers to the woman that is seated on the beast, and from what is yet to come to, is the representation mother of harlots, It's like the mother of the church that are declined. The daughters are gonna get judged, Esau's daughters, which was daughters of Esau, and so on like that, but still, the mystery behind that is it.
The daughter, you mean the daughter of Edom? What is that? You mean the daughter of Babylon?
Yeah. So that's the mother. It talks about mother of harlots.
You said daughter of Edom.
Yeah, come on.
Daughter of Edom.
Rejoice when you see domination. Rejoice when you see domination. Yeah. So it goes with it. It's not only start to sing what I was learning from when I was yeah.
For that, it's enough for you to know the mystery. It says those mysteries talk about the prophecies. Even that's a mystery. Yeah, mystery, that's a mystery.
Not everyone knows that Babylon is talking about the U.S.
What about the song?
Well, I'll probably sound okay. So let me bring that out real quick. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from the Most High. For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. Alright? My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. For you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. So Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi did not forsake us. Verse 28, for as it was your mind to go astray, for as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that has brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And we're seeing that played out, man. We know the pride is turned into mourning. Okay? For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhibited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High Yahawah, Hashem Yahushai. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west. That's us getting beamed up, man, going back to Jerusalem. It says that's a vision right there. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west. There's chariots, man. By the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi.
Yeah, the book of Matthew 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
We pray that we are the ones that endure to the end.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come.
Why does it say all nations? We're dispersed in all nations.
Everywhere, yeah.
Well, and that's why the virgin, when he was reading, be not afraid to entertain strangers.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't see it as face value.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you might entertain an angel unaware, man. You know, it was an angel, a messenger. We're angels in this body, man. You know, and also like you might see an angel from the
Because we're messengers, because we're carrying the message of the Most High. Sure. Because everywhere we go, we have the Bible with us. You know, through the words, we can bring out precepts, even paraphrase it. You know.
The mysteries too. That the messenger, the angels. That what makes us move. That what makes us forward through the prophecy from the times too. Because as wisdom is the stability of the times. We unravel. We decode the other precepts, the other revelation. What we have to study to get that rulership, that election, you know, to be amongst those that will so-called
those are elected.
yeah, rule those different classes. So yes, those are elected.
Rulership mentality.
Rulership mentality from the spirit.
Through the Spirit. The book of Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Sure, the Lord doesn't hate people.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, and that was one of the main topic today. Is like that oil, you know, that's the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures, the understanding of the scriptures. And you have that. That's what's going to sustain you. And when the perils come, the perils, the sword for judgments, man. The famine, you know, pestilence, the wild beast, the sword.
From top, Isaiah 33. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou waste not spoil. And thou waste not spoil, so like, and dealest treacherously. And they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Esau, you didn't just read he sold, man. You know? Yeah, he took us. He might have slacked off, you know, during the playoffs or something, you know. He's like, yo, let me fall back, watch LeBron, bro. And he's like, yo, it's time for you to reap what you sow, man. You know? So now he's trying to, hey, let's vaccinate these Israelites.
I think it's mandatory in the federal prisons now, right?
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
You see that?
So if
Mandatory.
If you're in jail, yo,
you don't have a choice.
No choice.
No choice.
So they already going through it. And I think that's in Ottawa. I seen I think yesterday.
That's in Ottawa?
That's the devil right there.
You Google Ottawa federal prison vaccine, you'll see they just pushed it.
Yeah, why even go through the problem of actually the criminal?
Yeah, why do they care all of a sudden so much?
Yeah, exactly.
The criminals, man.
You care about their death?
When is there any more precepts?
Sirach 41, starting at verse 5. The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake.
That's what he's saying. You know, the household, the Edomite household, telling you can't be racist to black people. You know?
What'd you say? It's like
The Edomite children are getting off at the parents for being racist at different nations.
oh yeah?
Well, that's what the brethren were saying.
Yeah, I've seen videos of this one Edomite daughter that was arguing with her mother because her mother said that, oh, I earned everything I own, I've earned with my hard-earned money and stuff like that. But she doesn't realize that, yeah, we went through slavery, she didn't earn anything. The fact that she's walking on this land that's stolen shows that you didn't earn a single thing that you have.
Yeah, they walk proud, bro. They're proud, bro.
And that's another thing, like in Isaiah 14:21, that the children have to be slaughtered along with the parents, because if the children aren't slaughtered, they're just going to take what was stolen, and it's not going to turn back to the right hand.
First slaughter for the children lest they take over the city. Well,
Real quick,
bring it up.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 7. Pride is hateful before Yahawah, and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
By theft,
Yeah.
bloodshed.
Yeah.
So it has to be given back to the rightful owner.
They have what? They have American pride. They have the gay pride. They're the most prideful beings of the earth. So, and their wickedness, that's what they're prideful.
You got it. That was it on that? Con. Book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 4. And it reads, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Just waiting on the day that he'll execute judgment on all the heathen and set up his elect as rulers of the earth.
That's right.
Yeah, also, Lord willing, January 20th is when Trump is supposed to transfer his power to Biden. So, Lord willing, Trump, the Most High invokes Trump to cause trouble.
Yeah, con.
And I saw on the news that
I'm ready, man.
Interpol,
Accelerator.
Interpol, they issued 2 arrest requests for Trump, as well as 47 other U.S. officials
That's today?
this week.
Okay, con.
Another one, sorry, Slakia. Another thing is Iran, they issued an arrest order on Trump as well.
It's turning him over now.
Everyone's looking for Trump, man. Get this guy out of there, man.
That's probably from Salah. I don't. We put a cross on me. 'Cause, yeah, that was probably from commander that got executed.
Oh, okay. But he wasn't executed by the U.S.
He said he will bring on journalists. The second war has passed already. Now comes the third war.
You got some? Just looking for the information.
A quick precept in Sirach, chapter 35, and verse 18. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient towards them, till he hath smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he hath taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
When was that? 20 hours ago. John, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, which they brought him near before him. That's when Yahawashi was breathed up, and that's when he was given that full authority, heaven and the earth. Verse 14, and it was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Esau's kingdoms, all the heathens' kingdoms are always temporary and short-lived, and it's always built on bloodshed and unrighteousness. But the Lord's kingdom will be taken by the saints, the elect of Israel, and it'll stay on forever. Right? That'll be the beginning of the world.
Verse 27, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawashi, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
We're going to rule in righteousness.
Yeah.
Our children will be able to live peacefully, and we'll be able to be fruitful and multiply like the commandment says. And it'll be an everlasting kingdom because it'll be built upon righteousness, not bloodshed, not deceit, not unrighteous decrees. So
The bloodshed will be in righteousness. When we shed his blood, it's going to be in righteousness.
righteous bloodshed.
Because what does it say? He that shed the blood of his blood has to be
Yeah,
shed.
Numbers 35, 33.
You got that?
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Going to him that
Yeah, I was
holds
just
back
gonna
his
say.
sword too.
It's cool.
Yeah, Josh, you just that one. It's not happy. Oh, last.
Numbers 35, 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defileth the land because of Esau, because he shed the Gadites and Reubenites and Judites and all the tribes of Israel. He shed all our blood. Issachar, all of them. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So in order for this land's blood to be cleansed, for the land to be, purified, Esau's blood has to be shed. He's the one that shed everyone's blood. Innocent blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's one of the things that Yahawah hates, hands that shed innocent blood. One of those things, and also pride blood too. Mostly all these things are the embodiment of Esau evil.
Jeremiah 51. 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his riders. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariots and his riders. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. And I will break in pieces with the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion, in your sight, said the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountains, said the Lord, which destroy all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take a stone for a corner, or a stone for a foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, said the Lord. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nation against her, call together against her kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horse to cause up a rough caterpillar. So yeah, also there's different set of degrees, highest degrees upon the mountain representation of the glory of Zion, Jerusalem, is Israel too. And you know, it says here, set up a standard. There'll be a standard set up amongst the people. There'll be class rulerships too that's coming up upon. Oh yeah,
The book of Ezekiel chapter 25 and verse 12. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi.
So Most High can use Israel
And it says according to his anger, his fury. You might be passive today. Say hi to what's his name? Yeah, what's his name? Joe? Peter?
Jared? Gerald?
Yeah. Dexter. Yeah, we say hi. You might say hi to Dexter now, but hey, when it's time, Most High's gonna put his anger and his fury upon you.
Even we think that we have anger for all that Esau's done to us. Imagine how the Lord feels.
Yeah, Khan. He says he's long suffering, right? Yeah. He says he's angry with the wicked every day.
He knows exactly what Esau did.
more than we do.
What Yahawashi went through. And how it's a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, so it's only been like 2-3 days.
Got a quick precept. The book of Luke 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? But I have baptism to be baptized with, and how am I certain till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one household divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? Ye, and why even of yourself judge ye not what is right? when thou goest with thy adversary to the magistrate, as thou art in the way, give diligence that thou mayest be delivered from him, lest he halt thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and the officer cast thee into prison. I tell thee, thou shalt not depart thence till thou hast passed the very last mite. Sit on that.
Isaiah 66 to 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariot, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. By fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So yeah, he will come through in the midst of this fire too, you know, when all these apocalypse will rip out his full effect, you know. The fire will be let loose and all hell will be let loose, you know. This pain, by pain, they will have to repent, to suffer. Too late. You want to do so?
It's a little hard to come up to us.
Isaiah 54, starting at verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, that the Lord likens Israel unto a bride. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall be called. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith Yahawah. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. Jumping down to verse 11. O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphires. And I will make thy widows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. In righteousness shalt thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror. For thou shalt not fear and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahawah.
So yeah, the Most High has created things to destroy